Kia ora. Welcome to Friday the 24th of November 2023, day after Thanksgiving. It's the part normally we'll be recovering from stupid amounts of food, but we didn't go totally overboard yesterday, so not so bad today, it's just good. Today's ramble, I guess, keep it short. It's got quite a bit to do. One of the things about coming down from Ohio to Tennessee, as I've talked about before, is downsizing. So, you know, we've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, and we have, the storage building, the shed, which is ostensibly primarily for tools and power, impending power extensions for solar power and the like. The bottom line is that we've gotten rid of a bunch of things, and we're still just kind of working out what we need to keep and what we really don't need, and that's going to be ongoing because we've still got a lot of stuff up in Ohio. I guess the push will come to shove when we do make the final push in the not too distant future to sell the Ohio property, and that'll mean being much harder in terms of what we actually do get rid of. So the George Carlin comedy sketch, the famous one where he talks about stuff, you need stuff to hold your stuff and stuff to support your stuff, is unfortunately very true. At a personal level, I've talked about this before, I'm a gamer, sort of gamer now, I guess, and I have an extensive collection of gamer related stuff, but just don't have the time that I used to operate it, and I've talked about developing new hobbies and things as well. So the reality is, for me personally, it's kind of downsizing, and I've started that again. I had a fairly aggressive eBay phase earlier this year, and that was, I wouldn't say cathartic, but it was getting rid of the stuff that I knew I really just didn't need. And what I've done since is, over the last week or so, is had an opportunity to take a whole bunch of the totes that we had still in storage here and start going through those and reorganizing them and categorizing them into absolute keeps, things that I really don't want to get rid of if I don't have to. They have nostalgic value. They're I've got some highly collectibles still, which I just don't really want to get rid of at this time, and things that I hope that I will actually get to use in the future. If I don't, well, that's fine. I will liquidate them. But for now, there's the must keeps, or the shell keeps. There's the not quite sure at this moment in time. Put those back into storage for now, but at least organize them and get them in a place where I can actually work with them if I change my mind. And then there's the don't really need these, and so that's been a thing that has been happening behind the scenes. Now, the big challenge, of course, is, my eBay, I don't have a cap on what I can put up, but they have like a free limit of about 250 items or 250 auctions, roughly speaking. As things expire, it kind of cuts into that, but it's about 250 items. And you think that's, an attainable number. It's actually really hard to get 250 auctions up and running, things catalogued and dropped up online, and it's a good chunk of effort. I think last time I've always maintained it at like close to the 100 item mark, and I had a big push, like I said, a few months back, and managed to get it actually up to the 250 mark, or very close to it, and that was really a lot of work to get there. By the time you photograph things and weigh them and determine the best shipping and blah blah blah, and I have a system that I use for it. I don't go overboard on this stuff, but it's actually really quite quite surprisingly difficult to get a lot of items up, and I think I'm at 77 at the moment. So if that's any indicator, active items sitting up on eBay. So I'm at that point now where I like, okay, I've got to go and actually build that number up again. So that's on my to-do list for today, is to go and get some more stuff up. And the main purpose of this is, you know, as I said, is downsizing, but it is a little extra income. It's kind of funny money because I've bought them and now I'm selling them. But in a lot of cases, being the kind of person that I am, a lot of the stuff I buy is, apart from the new items, a lot of the stuff I buy on auctions anyway is bought for cents in the dollar and sold accordingly. So overall, I'm actually coming out on top compared to the original investment. This is a thing I'm not a stranger to. When you understand your own hobbies very intimately, you know when to recognize bargains and know how to liquidate those and turn those into extra cash. So, you know, we're kind of rollicking around that. It does mean, you know, that I have to go through and do a substantial tax thing. I think the IRS has actually recently changed their minds again on the $600 limit. For those that aren't aware, and I've talked about this, that they tried this last year, basically to put a $600 cap on sales, and then after that you needed a 1099K and you need to report sales and blah 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 blah. I think it's 200 transactions or something as well. So the point I'm making here is that yeah, I'm under those limits this year. I'm not under those limits dollars wise, but I'm under the transaction limits and stuff. But the IRS has basically backed down on that again. So hopefully I won't have to go through the calculation hell, because I got to be upfront if I actually have to calculate the cost and stuff like that. It's probably going to work out in my favour. So it's probably not in their best interest to do it anyway, but it's an extra chunk of work that needs to be done. But the $600 rule really hammers small businesses, very small businesses, hobby businesses. It used to be that there was a $20,000 cap, which still is a $20,000 cap at the moment, and I think 200 transactions, and it's kind of considered, I guess, funny money. If you're doing it for a profit, then you're supposed to be reporting that anyway. But the idea behind it is that a lot of people have stuff that they just want to sell. They've already bought. They're not buying it and then selling it to make a profit. If it happens, then it happens. But they're really just doing it because they've got excess stuff and they want to turn that back into dollars so they can buy more stuff. You know how that works. So the $600 limit is really draconian. It sounds like they've actually changed their minds on that, and they've now set potentially a more reasonable $5,000 limit. And I'm okay with that. I mean, if someone has a whole bunch of things and they need to make another $5K a year, so be it. 20,000, I mean, you really, even $10,000, I mean, you're really kind of almost operating a business if you're doing that by way of profit. So, you really should be in a place where you're doing paperwork. I've got all the paperwork, don't get me wrong, but it's the hassle of having to just go through and calculate everything and then submit it and work with the CPA and blah, 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 blah. So it's something we will be doing, moving ahead anyway. But the less paperwork, the better, right? So anyway, that's my ramble for today. A little longer than I was expecting. I hope you all have a great Friday, and ramble again soon. Let you know how things are going. Bye.